Hello, everyone, and welcome back to 7-Eleven Game Time Anytime, presented by the Gaming Stadium. We had an absolute banger of a match for Map 1, so this one should just be just as great here. Keg, how are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling really good about Ascent, yeah. It's one of my favorite maps in Valorant on a personal level. I love casting it, and I want to see what ONI fans and what Ascent can bring out here for each side. The big question is, are they going to bring out the same agents as before? If you didn't see the previous series, we saw them both on Haven bring out identical rosters of agents, which of course, for us as casters, always super fun to cast. But I mean, the utility usage and the way each team had a different philosophy about approaching a site or even defending is really apparent in situations like that. But we do have some interesting news. We do have one player being swapped out. Bear's coming in for, Stevie Nicks is coming in for Bear. So I'm wondering how much that's going to change everything, because Bear was the initiator, or one of the two, I believe. So I wonder if they're going to stay onto that same role.
Yeah, and I mean, being able to just find that groove the first time around, but introduce another person into the mix should definitely be interesting. And I'm intrigued to see how it's going to be swapping things up here. I mean, Bear was someone that we had our eye on, so I'm excited to see what Stevie Nicks brings to the table here. Knight flirting around the Euro. I'm not even going to look at that. I see you, Knight. I know you're not going to be sticking with that. Surge, though, hovering over that KO.
Yeah, the KO pick I think is going to be really interesting. I love KO. I think he's probably one of the best agents in the game on paper. But in reality, there are also agents at the moment who are just simply outperforming for someone on the initiator role. Like a Sky is such a great option here. But because of the close quarters angles and the kind of suppression that Surge on the KO can bring out, especially starting on the defense, I think this is a really strong opportunity. I mean, the pop flashes, the null command, the flash points, all of those are so important to be brought out by Surge. But here we talked about Stevie Nicks, right? Previously, Bear, I believe, was the Sova. Now, Knight and Stevie Nicks swapping those essential roles. We saw Knight as the Cypher last game, and now on to the initiative Sova. It's going to be Stevie Nicks on the Killjoy pick.
Love seeing a Killjoy over on Ascent. So that one should be fun to watch. I'm excited to see what Stevie Nicks brings to the table here. But going back to the KO, those pop flashes, being able to have an Astra and a Jet to have those, the cloud burst, to have the stars and stuff, have those clouds, I feel like could create a lot of really good situations here for ONI fans.
What I'm pleasantly concerned about is that ONI fans don't have a Sentinel at all. This tells me ONI fans every single round have to play unbelievably aggressive, no matter what side they're on.
Love to see an aggressive match. That should be a lot of fun. Going for more of a default position here, though, for an Ascent. Though, playing aggressive, looking up that cat right away. You got pops around the corner. Guess that information, being forced to be backing up. Still Spike. And it's Nicks posted up towards B.
Post up towards B. Turret is there for first contact. Opening pick to go down by Sundays and a trade to go by as well. B seems to be the way to go. And guess what? There's no Sentinels to stop the push going to B. It's ONI by themselves all over with a whole flood of enemies.
Try and slow this push all you want with those shock darts or with those headshots, being able to find two back to back. Donkey is able to finally put an end to that shenanigans, pop around with that right click, but not all by himself now. ONI fans going to be able to take the pistol round for the early game advantage.
Really nice work from ONI fans, able to take down Nascent there. Understandably, I was pretty worried about that huge flood in going to B site, but props to ONI and Sundays, able to go for the deep lurk on Sundays, taking down some bodies before the trade, but ONI themselves able to hold down B site. I mean, look, B site, Ascent, Sova is like the literal bread and butter of Valorant. You always see the best clutches in the game with all three of those ingredients going together, and that makes sense. Keep ONI on side of B. That is pretty much a stalemate in of itself. That is essentially a Sentinel to an extent.
It's like a pseudo Sentinel there.
Yeah.
Knife, try and get a little bit of information out towards mid. As reposted up through the cat. Sundays though, with the Ghost making great advantage to be pushing the Ascent down, able to get away with his life nonetheless. A little bit of stalemate there. Everybody's kind of trapped in the same spot here. So ONI fans able to take them down.
Absolutely. Really great work again. Sundays, props to them going for the aggressive lurk, taking down more bodies again. By taking down so many bodies, and I think that might be 2 rounds now of a double kill, Sundays has been able to make sure that NASCENT's attack, when they go for the execute, is completely dissected or bisected, right? They're not able to use the full utility. They're not able to really use all of what is at their disposal because half the bodies are already gone. But this is also NASCENT's first round with the full rifles. They've used pretty much all their cash to do so. I'm not sure what their utility looks like, but we already see aggressive Astra Stars on both of the apexes of pushing mid. Okay, that's 1 dissipate, 2 dissipates. Now mid is essentially clear except for Sundays inside of A main.
Yes, Sunday's holding the angle with the op is 2 posted outside of A, trying to get a little bit of ground. Push up towards B and mid as well. Mid push, though, going to be denied there by Surge. No NASCENT yet again on this back foot. Sunday's backing up a little bit. Also, though, still holding that angle, but everyone's kind of spread out. Spike looks to be going back towards A, but this one's been a little tough for NASCENT so far. Even more tough as Surge pops around, takes Stevie Nicks out in the mid.
That's 2 bodies now gone in mid for NASCENT again. Their execute already down to 3, just like every other round. Guiding Light comes by. Sunday is behind Dice.
Repositioning a little bit. Wall bang through the box, though, but just standing still with this op. Pops around, able to be finding one. Yet again, Knight by himself. But here it is, ONI fans 3 on the board.
Yeah, and again, pretty much the biggest strategy coming down from ONI fans now is they're able to take control of mid. They're able to push towards A main without really too much of a problem if anybody's stopping them. NASCENT, they're playing really spread out, and that means there's very little trade potential. And I think that's the main reason why ONI fans are able to find those early picks, always a 2K before NASCENT go for the main execute. But that was every time NASCENT went towards A. This is a bit of a spice up here. Now going towards B, this could be a different story, but look who's there. 2 people who've been so good about holding down a site are going for those main executes.
Oh, definitely. Right out of the gate, Recon Bolt going to be calling out that they're, looking to play a bit more towards B this time, giving Rasu the opportunity, pushing up towards Cat, though not going to be to any avail, though. These pistols all staring him down, going to be too strong. Sundays, though, being able to follow up with the op, at least take 1 before being pushed back with this Nanostorm a little bit. And now, they're just going to go back towards B.
Astra's gone. Star on the ground's not going to do much. Owl Drone versus Owl Drone now. Battle bots coming by. Go with utility.
They being caught out with the well a little bit, but is at least being able to get 1 before going down. Ashing onto site now. NASCENT has this opportunity in a 3v3. He's an aggressive angle here. Pinch between 2, but if he can take him down 1 by 1, especially with Sundays holding market with this op.
First full plant of the game goes on to B. Default to an extent.
Remaining.
Fantastic angle there by Donkey, being able to take Sundays down. NASCENT looking very strong to get their first point on the board here. Surge has a little bit of an idea of where 1 is, but pops around to give us up on that one. Gonna look back towards site. They're scattered everywhere. Surge, no chance. NASCENT, well played to get this point.
And the majority of the time we see defending Sentinels usually stack up a lot of utility towards B, and if that gets overrun really quickly by, say, like a Jet really pushing above, updrafting into the site and dodging everything, that's usually when we see a Sentinel really start to pivot towards A site a lot more. There's no Sentinel on ONI fans. Not 1 at all. These means they're all either information or flashes and just dry peeking afterwards from just about everybody on the team. The Sent have the ability to kind of use more utility to deny space and create pressure onto a site. That's going to make B a lot more difficult. And look at that. Turret goes down. Sunday's on the other side. 1 op shot to go through.
Battle of the Jet Ops, but Sundays with a big miss there, being forced to back up. Donkey backing up as well towards B. Nate being able to get a bit of information, knows that they are scattered out, but Spike's still over on A. But look, mid, pretty clear except for Surge holding back there. A little bit of
Oh, never
information,
mind.
but yeah, Surge going to go down. So yeah, mid completely open now, but NASCENT going to be flooding back towards A.
Nebula is down right in front of Garden, gonna make things a little bit more difficult to attack. Zeke, though, on the other side, waiting for any sort of information at all about A main. Rasu's trapped, though. Double Nebula.
Double Nebula trying to push through, try and spray through and find somebody, but to no avail. NASCENT being able to go for this spike plant 5v2 situation. It looks like they've found their groove a little bit here. Being able to put that to great advantage as all they have to do is hold these angles now.
Standing ahead.
A little bit of almost a little bit of information. Cloudburst instantly going to deny that. Not going to give ONI fans any wiggle room to come back into this. He holding an angle as well. PKR going to force him maybe be backing up.
This is a good save. Or at least it could be a save.
Oh.
Maybe not so much. Oh no, ONI, what are you gonna do here? Gonna hold the angle?
Oh, what he's going to do is going to be able to get a kill. He just wants that gun. Going to fight for his life with it. Going to lose the round, but at least keep something in your back pocket.
Yeah, a little bit of eco damage against NASCENT. Pretty good. But you're completely right, Sierra. NASCENT's catching up now. They're able to get 2 points on the board. And we saw this happen a little bit towards the first round of Haven as well, but it took a lot longer for ONI fans to be in that spot. They were able to take attack timeout. Well, we haven't seen one this time, but they were able to make an incredible clawing comeback for a lot of their own attacking side. NASCENT, they decided rather than full aggress like they did on Haven, they're taking their time and really spreading themselves out to face check these individual gunfights that ONI fans have to force themselves into, and a lot of that starts on B or mid.
Does over on A though, Bladestorm being popped. Nobody contesting right out of the gate though, but Recon going to be pushing ONI fans back just a little bit here. Donkey yet again in the mid. Could be bad news for Surge, but Donkey gonna give him a little grace this time and be backing up as the team looks to be rotating back towards B.
ONI has the angle to be set. Could be some intel to come down. If there are Astra Stars towards the back, ONI can hear the info and get the kill. Oh, but first contact could be a turret or a straight peek.
Ooh. Able to at least get a little bit of damage, but not too much beyond that. Knowing now the team is lurking outside that B, backing up. Stevie Nicks has the lockdown, his back pocket, but not going to be able to use it quite yet. Suppressed. But Heo definitely going to be denying the opportunity they had to be pushing aggressively out onto this site. And instead, going to refocus back towards mid with 30 seconds left.
And this is tough, right? 30 seconds left. Lockdown could go down, but look who's on the other side of B. ONI with a Hunter's Fury. They could very well destroy that lockdown immediately, but space has been denied from Surge. Has to re-rotate again, allowing more space to push up.
Ooh. You know, we'll hold those angles, at least being able to take down any lockdown possibility, but NASCENT being able to get a bit more aggression going on and be able to push on to site. Cosmic Divide coming out as well, going to make it even more difficult. ONI fans, but they're going to be bringing it to a 2v2 into this spike plant. Oh, Bladestorm able to find one. Battle of the Jets now, one in the back of sight. An op Cloudburst coming out. Look at the classic in hand. Get any information. Donkey's so low, misses the op shot. I haven't seen him miss too many of those, but that was a big one to miss. Sundays able to take him down, get the defuse.
Really nice retake coming out from ONI fans. I mean, that's such a tough position to be in, right? If you're in NASCENT, you've wasted so much time in the round trying to find information, make ONI fans waste utility, and try to poke out by themselves, but that KJ util could have been the answer. Now the big problem is, the more and more you don't use that KJ lockdown, of course more rounds go by and there's less opportunities to get a second one. A big problem was going to be that a lot of, even though there is no Sentinel for ONI fans, a lot of what they do have is to deny a lot of Sentinel utility. You have the Shock Darts, of course, you have the Hunter's Fury from Sova, Null Command from KO as well, and the 0 point, all really important to make sure that maybe that Killjoy could be hard checked, and Stevie Nicks, well, they could be a one-winged dove, but not this round.
Yeah, we saw just how it was denied last round, so they can just keep that up. mean, a fantastic way to be countering it, but not getting suppressed this time means can at least use it over on B, but there it is. Denied with a shot first. And that's absolutely huge. Wasted all there. Razu hiding in the corner, able to take one out. And with the Hunter's Fury, able to get a kill as well. ONI fans pushing back as hard as they can here, not letting NASCENT gain any ground, even through the mid. Surge is holding out with a Spectre, able to take down Stevie Nicks here. PKR left all by his lonesome now. 5v1 situation. Looks like Flawless about to come up, and there it is.
Oh, the running gun from Rasu. Really nice to find PKR. And we saw that lockdown come by, and of course the Hunter's Fury right after. At least both ults are now gone. You don't have to worry about those if you're in NASCENT anymore. No more Hunter's Fury for, denying the plan to go down. But NASCENT themselves, they have a lot more coverage with their ult utility. It took a round for them to do so, but they had their own Seekers, they have the Hunter's Fury of their own, and while we may be talking about the ults a little too much, I think they're going to play a lot more of an important round from the rest of this half on, just because of how game-changing every single one on the board is. That being said, the knives have already come down, and nothing just yet for Catwalk, but Donkey really wants that revenge shot on the Sundays. You can definitely tell.
Why wouldn't he at this point? Not going to get it this time around. You're starting to sound a little bit like Shrek here. Sunday able to take a fantastic shot there. Put ONI fans at disadvantage. Backing up with this op as well. Basically, come and test me. I've got this. Knight lurking around with the Sheriff. That's a dangerous one, bud. I might just back up. And NASCENT looks like to be in a little bit of a stalemate.
Yeah, this is really tough for NASCENT right now. They have to pick up the dead weapons of other people of ONI, but that requires them to get a kill. This is a Sheriff round for them. This is an eco, and it's not going to be an easy one. This is all about doing economic damage against ONI fans, and, well, ONI fans are aware of that, and they're not going to peek out too aggressively. Flash Strike goes down. Might find some info, but no one's there to receive it anymore. Sunday still holding this angle towards Garden. No one's going to push up there as well. That's going to leave a lot more pressure to ONI, and this is a story we're going to be saying a lot of different times for the rest of this half.
Oh, especially as a call yet again back towards B. ONI being able to get that headshot, take 3 of them down. Surge being able to pick up 1 as well for another flawless back-to-back here for ONI fans.
Yeah, it's a little sad that we had to see the null command come out for that, but I really do like just the extra coverage to come out as well. ONI fans are gaining a big lead, and 6-2, I feel like Surg is okay using the null command there just to make sure they really win the round. But now this is a full rifle buy from NASCENT, and it feels like we haven't really seen one in too many rounds. We've seen a lot of saves and some broken buys, but there's an up on the board again for Donkey, and I really just want to see this redemption arc. Problem is, though, when you keep going for it over and over again, you kind of tunnel vision a little bit.
I think Sunday's got a little jealous that we kept talking about Donkey last time around. This is Sunday's time to shine there. Another op kill there, taking Donkey down. I'm the better jet, he says. Looking to at least push up towards mid now. It is going to be a 4v4. Seekers come out. A little bit pressure here, sorry, toward B. And market those Stevie Nicks looking to make a little bit of an impression here. NASCENT finally with an advantage, having the buy this time around. Spike, though, slowly but surely coming, but ONI fans still so far back on the retake.
Curious to see what happens next here. Hunter's Fury, of course, not going to be playing so far back, waiting for possibly the post-plant utility to go down. That being said, there's only 2 left alive. Do you need to use that ult? Most likely not.
Most likely not, especially with his utility going to be denying the line of sight to push back on. Sundays with the Cloudburst going to try, but Kiara able to find at least 1. Sundays in a very tight position here, and NASCENT finally another point here on the board after letting ONI fans kind of run away with it for a little bit.
3 rounds left in the half. This could be a turnaround here to either a 6-6 or maybe even a 9-3 or anything in between. That being said, though, not a lot of Sentinel utility being brought out, of course, from the defensive side, but in a sense, Killjoy has been more of a lurking role, I feel. It's tough to be a lurking role on a Killjoy when you're bound to her turret and alarm bot a little bit more, but these gunfights and the control and map pressure that Killjoy in of herself can bring has made B a lot more difficult for ONI fans' side. That being said, ego check again from mid. Sunday is not finding that opening shot. Donkey doesn't go for it this time. Or, well, he did, but just the wrong angle.
Different angle. They're not going to cross paths this time around, and Sunday's not able to be looking towards this mid anymore as it is going to be blocked out. Stevenix pushing up a little bit to be trying to get a little bit of information here. So the rest of them looking to walk up Cat. The guy holding the other angle there. Over in B main, Stevenix not going to make any ground, though. Opening pick yet again in the favor of ONI fans.
That's flank denial gone too.
Oh, for sure. That corner there, being able to get one, get the dismiss out of there is Rasu able to finish up, get the kill to Nuddle. And here it is. ONI fans in a fantastic position here. Sundays not able to hit the shot. That was a perfect opportunity, though. With that, it means that this divide can come out. There it is. ONI fans almost close, but still able to be taken this point.
And this map has been a lot more gunfight heavy than we saw on Haven. And I thought that would be kind of tough to pass up, given that Fracture and Breeze were banned. But NASCENT right now, a bit of a struggle with these aggressive peaks coming out from ONI fans at the beginning of the round. Astra utility has been pretty strong too. A lot of line of sight denial towards mid side has made these kind of... The word is kind of ego checks to come by from the two operas. Really just these duels to come out. But the economy for NASCENT has not been in a good place for a very long time. And 2 rounds left and it's a Shiko.
Ooh, popping down from above though. Oh, not going to gain any ground there. ONI yet again. I feel like I keep saying this with an opening hit. Though. Looks like NASCENT gonna look a bit towards B instead. No, maybe not. Maybe a little recon, a little bit of rotate out. Sunday finally checked here. Up in Cat, Donkey being able to get a little bit of revenge there with that Sheriff. Sheriff putting in the work here, at least for NASCENT.
Mid control.
Ooh.
Mid control from NASCENT. Surge not looking behind them.
Absolutely huge. Oh, Stevie popping around. Here's the reload. Sees the opportunity. Posting through, though. Able to be getting multiple. Almost taking out Stevie in the process as well. But, I mean, opportunity to get this plant. So little HP. But does have utility on the board to be working with here in this 2v1. All they have to do is push together at this point. There it is. I mean, Stevenix had no AHP to his name. That's going to be a difficult one for him to be able to clutch, and ONI fans going to be able to take it down.
Yeah, and that round started off as a thrifty too for NASCENT, so even just picking up the Phantom, getting so much economic damage against ONI fans, not using the lockdown, that's fine. Like, what are you going to do when you use a lockdown there? It's instantly going to be destroyed. It's going to instantly be used up. You're going to be destroyed too as Stevie Nicks. That was the best case scenario for NASCENT, and it's not the best position. It was 7-5 going at to the half of Haven, so it's not the best for NASCENT, but they can certainly bring it back on their own defense because they do have a little bit more utility to work with.
Yeah, and I mean, sure, they're at a disadvantage now, but we saw in the first game that it was ONI fans having a disadvantage, and despite not being able to clean up the match, all it took was a timeout and playing as a team to be able to secure it.
And we haven't seen one yet.
Haven't seen one yet, though. Depending on how this round goes, be interesting. Sundays tries to play aggressive right out of the gate, though. Not going to gain any ground as 2 are going to be picked off from ONI fans here, giving an advantage, but peeking around into the smoke, being able to at least even out this score as the lockdown goes down. Look at this, though. Surge with the flank, being able to push up through Cat, able to find one before backing up just a little bit, not wanting to get caught out here. Fantastic adjustment here from ONI fans to be able to deny this, putting PKR in a situation, forced to back up. Does at least have Spike, but 3v1 situation.
Okay, Nebula goes down. Surge, though, not respecting it. Goes for the 0 points, spotting out the info in PKR. PKR's going to go for it, or at least hide away. Radiant Night box is penetrable.
Maybe see if anyone else will peek up. 3 of them. They know a little bit where PKR is, but look at this. Going to be backing up, though. 2 of them looking towards Upper Cat. Getting out of there just in the nick of time to look towards B instead with less than 30 seconds left on the clock.
That was some stellar movement coming out from PKR
Right?
already. Like, that was literally frame perfect timing.
So good, but there is a little bit of utility coming out, but Spike still going to be planted. Cosmic Divide coming out. Just a little bit of information. Look at that, being able to find at least one, but surge around the other side. Able to secure it. ONI fans putting this into a 9-3 curse.
Great setup from ONI fans too for that final half, even if it was the final round of the half, even if it was just one person going for the Cosmic Divide, making sure Canoe and Rod weren't able to be played off of at all. We usually see a lot of post-plant clutches from that very small area of backside, denying that out completely. And sorry for the helicopter, but overall denying that out so unbelievable because that only allows PKR to use that small box of utility, or I guess just gunfights, for the split push that went up against them. Okay, but now we swap sides. The 9-3 possible curse is in effect. NASCENT already up a map, down 6 rounds. The big controlling factor here for NASCENT's defense, I do believe still, is that they have a Killjoy that can be placed on A or B. That's going to make these pushes from ONI fans very aggressive comp to be stalled at least a little bit. Problem is, nobody's holding B at all, and that means the retake is going to be very difficult for NASCENT.
Instead, looking to put a lot of efforts, or almost all of the efforts, towards mid instead. Little bit of information, but look, at least they're not holding B, but they can go for an aggressive flank here, but not to any avail right out of the gate. Instead, NASCENT going to be having 3 fall to that. Here it is. Door going down. The guy can be taking Donkey down as well. So Stevie Nicks able to at least find one, deny the flawless, but it's going to be a pistol round. And again, in favor of ONI fans.
Very, very aggressive. I mean, you don't really expect the pistol round to be entering onto B terribly often. I think that was a great read from ONI fans. They knew that maybe the Killjoy wanted to set things up differently. I'm not too sure if they have a history of VOD reviewing each other, but I think playing into A was an interesting choice for NASCENT and a good read for the pistol, but I think ONI fans just wanted to switch it up a lot, and it worked out beautifully. And now we're seeing a lot more of a default defender position.
Definitely a default for defender position, but in terms of ONI fans, aggressive towards A this time around. I mean, they have an aggressive comp. Not too surprised to see the aggression, but Donkey at least with a shorty around the corner being going down, but being able to at least put a little bit of an advantage here. Going to be evened up just as quickly, though, in a 2v2 as Sight does get taken over. Stevie Nicks posted up in heaven, but there's going to be a bit more of a rotate over here.
Not too sure what utility Stevie Nicks has. Oh, they have nothing. The alarm bot could come into play in here. I think it's going to telegraph exactly where Stevie... Oh, they are going to go for it. And look at that. It telegraphs exactly where Rasu needed to peek.
That little bit of utility instantly punishing here, and Knight being in a position where he's, you know, against the world, 30 HP to his name. Does at least call out one with the Recon Bolt, but his time's running out, and absolutely no vision whatsoever. Goes for it, but to no surprise, not able to be getting this. And ONI fans is just 1 away from match point.
This is where the tac timeout needs to come out for NASCENT United. This is where it needs to come into play. This is the first... Well, this is the bonus buy for ONI fans, but this is the first rifle round, and the way the economy looks like right now, Sierra, this could be the last rifle round that NASCENT has in their defense if they can't win this round. That makes this round unbelievably important for these defenders to not over-aggress, don't take too many fights that could get them traded out, if they can find an opening pick, and it's a full flood into B again. This is all on Knight right now.
Oh, the infamous Odin spot, but unable to find any as everybody rushes through in that B main. Gonna be backed up to Sight as they're being able to push out into Boathouse, push this together. Knight unable to make any impression there, going to be falling. Fans going for the plant, but 3v3 here. NASCENT needs to make something happen here.
3v3.
Hopping around. 3v3. Hopping around. Little bit of information. Almost gonna be no, like, the vision obscured here. Put it in a 2v3 NASCENT in a very difficult situation. Does at least get a little bit of information, and Stevie Nicks is going to be able to take it out. Nay, on site, almost no HP. It's going to be all by himself, and NASCENT is able to secure this round.
That was such an important round to bring back here. Because if NASCENT had lost, they would have gone into match point on a save round, and that certainly wouldn't have ended well. But now, we don't have to worry about that. NASCENT need a lot more rounds to get back into the fray a lot, but look at that. They have a lot of weaponry. They picked up quite a bit against ONI fans' aggressive attack. But ONI fans now, they've only really been going for an aggressive straight shot to B and A. We haven't seen a lot of mid play coming out from their own attacking side. They have the ability to do so, but they do have double flashes to work with here. And look at those Astra Stars blocking out garden side, but not mid. That could mean they're trying to go for a little bit more of a split push default play, and that Reyna is definitely going to give that away a little bit more.
Definitely. There's going to be the Owl Drone through mid here to get a little bit of information, as there's going to be the push through. There's going to be the flash drive push out, but no luck that time around. Strong crossfire here, and you know, now ONI fans kind of just stuck in the bottom of mid. Recon Bolt will at least call out one, but being able to at least dash out of harm's way for the time being, back up and hold on to B site. But ONI fans gonna go with Cat instead. There's a lot of utility over on A. There's going to be one posted up in heaven as well, but look, just a little bit of a fake. We're just gonna go back up through mid.
Early utility usage from Stevie Nicks. Donkey still holding the angle. May hold it. No. Gonna back away. Oh, so many dry peaks.
Instead, going to be going down. Seekers at least will call out that there is a lot in heaven. We already knew that one. Being below, able to find one headshot. Turning for the dart is going to be falling down. The fans. 2v3 situation. Look at that though. Stevie being able to pop up behind in market to take Sundays down. Putting in a position against the world. No time left is going to fall. NASCENT still in this.
I do love how NASCENT are playing off of each other extremely well. We saw one inside of Market, one inside Pizza, just playing off each other off the Astra Nebula to make sure that, hey, anyone crosses by here without any information, they have to be dry peeked not once but twice by two different people with very little trade opportunities. Stevie Nicks also went through for some very early util usage once we started to see ZD push into Garden, and I thought that was a little early, and I'm surprised we didn't see an A push afterwards from ONI fans, but the way we've seen NASCENT play off each other really well has definitely let them stay into the game. That being said, mid play once again, Alarm Bot now no longer the double pinch. That's going to be revealed by the Owl Drone coming out from ONI fans, and mid is looking a lot more doable.
Yeah, especially with the Alarm Bot being broken here. Couple can be poking up through mid as the other two potentially looking towards B, but instead going to be rotating out. Donkey, though, with a very aggressive defensive angle there in case they decide to go back up towards A, or at least can swing out through Cat. And look at that, 3 of them heading in that direction if Donkey decides to be popping around that corner.
This is nerve-wracking for Noodle. Do have guiding lights to work with.
Ooh, holds that angle, but Surge going to take him down. ONI fans can flood onto this site. Look at that, Donkey still behind though, going to be able to get aggressive through B main, and it is still a 4-person retake. Picare going to push up a little aggressively, but look at this, knife coming out, going to make this even more difficult for NASCENT to try and get onto site as the suppression coming out, though going to be falling in the ult from Donkey here. Posted up in Cat, Nay going to be good for 1 as well. ONI fans, we're going to let NASCENT take a couple of rounds here. That's going to be about it. Odin going to put in a little bit of work here. It is able to find another one. Here it is. Pop down, both of them hiding out under heaven, but unable to secure it.
Match point.
Well, hopefully we can stay into this game a little bit more, right? Because we gotta get that donkey counter to go up. You know what? Hold on. Donkey, 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 donkey,
No,
donkey,
no,
donkey,
no,
donkey.
no, no, no. They have to be authentic
Okay.
call outs. You cannot be
Well, then
messing with
let's
this
talk about
counter.
Donkey then. Let's talk about Donkey. That last round, decently good job. Now in eco round, full armor, knives to come by. Guarantee you they're going to be looking for Sunday. The storyline between them, the rivaling Jets, has kept on going. And you can already see the Ego P coming through. Sunday!
Sunday going. I thought you were supposed to be yelling at Donkey at that point. Donkey popping around with the Blade Storm. Able to find one before being going down, taking out the Jet counterpart. An aggressive push, though, denying ONI fans a fast, aggressive push out onto B, and going to be backing up instead, having lost their comrade. Looking towards mid here. Two still posted up on B, but Stevenix is holed up in the top of mid, waiting for this rotate.
So as the primary entry for both teams, the whole idea of the Jet is to create space. Both of them are now dead, so now more utility needs to be used to create space onto a site, and that's gonna be a lot more difficult for ONI fans, but it's certainly doable. Reyna has Empress, but they're also on a save. That's not gonna be terribly easy. ONI does have the Hunter's Fury to work with. They don't have to be primary entry, but they only have a classic to do so. Oh no, one spotted.
One spotted. Nate holding this angle here with the Spectre. Everybody in B main should be counting their lucky stars that it wasn't an Odin for that wall. Popping around though. Nate going to be going down. But the push onto site not going to be successful. NASCENT, I mean, they cannot drop a single round at this point, but they're able to secure it quite easily.
Very nice round to come by, and NASCENT, that wasn't a great round for them economically. I mean, going into it at the very least. So, of course, seeming like it could be the last round, NASCENT does have the safety net of having Icebox to work off of. But going for the knives early on, pushing through with their Blade Storm, taking down Sundays, we talked about how important that was for the aggressive entry. But then from there, just holding onto the site and not chasing after ONI fans after that initial engagement allowed someone like Noodle to get that beautiful 3K. And Donkey, well, they want to repeat that strategy, but they get spotted out. That was by one recon bolt, the Owl drone to follow up, and now we could see the exact same situation, but with Sundays now.
The Blade Storm for Sundays is Donkey being forced to be backing up. Knives used up, though, wasn't able to quite secure that kill. I mean, still another knife to the name, but Donkey at least getting out of harm's way for now. But the cloud burst out. Sunday is going to be holed up still on cap, but the rest of the team looking at a rotate towards A.
And there's no utility to stop A main. Every piece of Stevie Nicks' utility on Killjoy is set up for Garden. That's where the rotates have always happened. But no, A main's completely naked, and Stevie Nicks realizes their mistake.
At least being able to find the one with that spray. So, a little bit of mistake, a little bit of miscalculation, but being able to make up for it. Fight going down, but NASCENT has the opportunity to be firing back. All members on the squad still alive. Yune playing this so aggressively, though, going to be pushing up towards heaven. Being able to find two before being going down. Fantastic way to bring themselves in a better position as well for this to a 2v2. Lockdown comes out, is going to be forcing the last two members of ONI fans back. Let NASCENT get control of this site. They're going to be able to do it. 11 health to his name to still stay in this game.
Really nice work from Noodle. That's 2 rounds in a row. They've been the MVP of holding down a site. And NASCENT, these gunfights have gone both ways. Pretty even, depending on the situation. But Noodle has been that consistent factor of just holding down the fort and getting just the cleanup. He's been the janitor and the goalie for NASCENT's defense right now, and that's definitely not an insult. That is the highest compliment I can give. And now that they have the Seekers, imagine what kind of aggressive push they can do on either their own defensive side or catch out where at least the majority of ONI fans are starting off the round.
Sure, and it's going to be looking towards that mid from B-Link. 2 hold up, top of mid, caught out yet again, though. No up. Donkey's name, though. Gonna make it a little easier for ONI fans to be pushing up, but Seeker's coming out. Gonna be pushing the back a little bit. And look at all that utility usage over in mid. They do not want to be giving this section up whatsoever. And push back up in market a little bit. ONI fans cause a bit of a ruckus, going to be going back and maybe look at their second favorite spot, Cat.
Stevie Nicks learned their lesson though. Donkey to fall. Stevie's still on top of a what seems like a nebula inside of Garden, but no, mid's gonna be the way to go, or not. It's a split push because that spike needs to be retrieved. There's only one towards the very back. That's Stevie. But the rotate potential from Rasu is huge to deny.
That push up, PKR looking away. Wrong second. Rasu good for 2 in this aggressive push through mid before falling. Putting this in even position here. Almost even. Stevie being able to find the back of Nays ahead there. Forcing TK to be in a position all by himself. Did get the spike from Cat, which was good. But having to compete with this Hunter's Fury coming out from Knight. Gets a little bit of damage. Being able to deny the plant for a little bit. But that is what it's going to be good for. Both up in heaven. Okay. Has to plant this spike. Not too much time left on the board. And is going to be defending it. All that matter. The little bit. Take back to the classic there. Descent. I mean, these retakes being able to take these down. There's another one.
You know, I was gonna say that because of the position the spike was planted in from Zeke, you can't wallbang that one specific box inside of Dice, right? You would think crouching under, save yourself from some bullets, but nah, Zeke just had their head poked out like a gopher.
Oh, definitely. And
or groundhog?
I think both.
Are they the same animal?
Oh, I don't want to get into this because I don't want to make a fool out of myself on air. I'm just gonna be straight up.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen either.
All right, well, I know what you're Googling in between maps at this point. If we get a map 3, NASCENT doing a fantastic job of being able to bring this back so far. ONI fans have been on match point for quite a few rounds, but NASCENT being so strong with these retakes and really making ONI fans work for it. ONI fans being down in the series need to secure this to bring it over to Icebox, but it has been difficult. Donkey dashes in though, finding 3. Noodle's gonna be taking away the 4th from him. How dare you? But look at that, flawless in B main, right out of the gate, and not getting any ground up.
No ground, no eco damage for their own save. Not the great position for ONI fans, and certainly deserves to have the timeout come by. Honestly, what ONI fans is doing right now for their attack isn't really the worst position or situation or I guess even strategy to bring out, right? They're going for early B-main aggression, looking to see if there's any intel or util or even players, but then they rotate over to mid. This is where things get a little dicey because NASCENT really stack up on mid in utility and bodies every single round. Then, once mid doesn't work out, usually we see that branch off either into pushing through mid all the way to A, or just go catwalk. That's where the major problems for ONI fans begin. From there, a lot of line of sight denial, a lot of KJ utility. Have you noticed that Killjoy has not put any of her utility on B site? That's because there's so much trust with, I believe, ONI all over side of B. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, they've been winning B. You don't put your utility elsewhere. We got B on lock. I mean, I has been doing such a fantastic job of holding that. And then just last time, the pure aggression coming out from Donkey into B main. I mean, that utility can't afford to go elsewhere. But this time around, I think that Stevie Nicks going to make a little fool of us. Going to be setting it up on B as the rest of the team posted up towards A.
And I do apologize, it's Knight who's been able to hold down B very well, but I like this adjustment from NASCENT. Go for the KJ util on B. Problem is, though, that might make A a little bit weaker, and that's where ONI have been able to get the spike plant the majority of their attacking rounds. So having 2 bodies, a double aggressive push up here, especially from Donkey to play around this Nebula one-way, really important. But now backing off in the wine, not a lot of utility usage to discover that anybody could be in wine. And ONI fans are back to their same strategy of pushing mid, but there's no KJ to worry about in Garden.
Yeah, no KJ in Garden. Definitely could help out their case a little bit, but the mid push going to be going back towards B main, which is going to play right into her setup. This could be absolutely devastating here for ONI fans. This is Stevie Nicks' playground now. But
that's huge!
From KO! All of this utility is not going to do anything here, and Stevie Nicks going down before any of these tools can be used with. Surge being able to go for that land. Absolutely fantastic use of KO there. I don't get to see KO being too often, but exactly what he's here for. That's exactly what he's designed to do. Donkey does have this flank here. Gonna be able to catch Unai out in this corner, but OnlyFans does have an advantage here. Only 2 members of NASCENT, only 1 now to take down, be winning this game. It's going to go to a map 3 after being on match point for so long. OnlyFans finally able to secure it after this timeout.
Wonderful. I bet you that entire timeout was just for the null command. That was unbelievable. I love that play so much. It's not often where we see a full functioning null command play really lead the charge and be the apex about how a team can win a game, but denying all the KJ util after the information was discovered that she wasn't playing on A. That means Killjoy, her utility, has less overall ground to cover and plays directly into the radius of not only Killjoy herself to activate those mollies, but also making sure the turret doesn't come into play. That was a perfect storm of not so greatness for NASCENT, but now ONI fans have a guaranteed way of getting themselves the icebox.
Yeah, and I mean, both teams have been playing so well, and ONI fans, I feel, for a good amount of that, were very dominant. So being able to go over to Icebox for this game 3, I'm really glad we get a game 3. I mean, the set was kind of bringing it back. I was a little bit worried there for a second, but being able to go to Icebox, it should be really interesting to see how these 2 teams play. We will give the teams, a little bit of a breather as everyone gets into the lobby. Plus, I got to go check on my order from 7 Now, getting a couple, little groceries delivered to my house, get some pizza pops, get a little snack in between matches, as well as one of the spicy, crispy, classic chicken sandwiches. I
I'm
think you
so
got one
hungry.
too.
I did.
So, this gives us a little bit of a moment to get a bite, take a breath. You can take your opportunity to as well. We'll be back in just a second.